Okay, so real quick, today is October 16th. It's a Sunday, and I wanted to quickly post this video for you guys, sort of a uh, street POV, if you will, with the X100F. And the reason why I put that in quotation marks is because really this was just a 20-minute walk from the car to the restaurant and back when my wife and I decided to take a day trip out to Annapolis, Maryland to get something to eat in the morning since we had some other errands to run. And I thought I'd just try to catch some footage and take a few pictures on the way down there and just play with the X100 really. So I was going to include this as part of a bigger video, an idea I have for a bigger video about the X100, but I thought I might have a hard time fitting it into that video. And so in any event, I'm going to share it with you now and kind of get your thoughts and feedback on how you think it went. Before we even get into it, I know that first off, my camera kind of had a hard time focusing throughout. I'm not sure what that was about. I think I may have had something on the lens that was affecting the autofocus. And then also, I know that I've never done a POV video, so I'm not used to having to keep my camera out of the way of the video. So there's a lot of moments where the footage is just not the best, and the angle wasn't even the best. But first time doing it, I did have fun doing it, so I probably will attempt to do this again. But thought I'd share it regardless and see what you guys thought. Now, like I said, it was with the X100F. Yeah, I shot this at 1/1000th of a second, f8, and auto ISO most of the time. Anyways, let's get into the video. Here you go.
I love you, Poppy.
Okay, so welcome back. Firstly, my favorite shot of the day, I would say, is somewhere in between one of the portraits of my wife that I took, quick little portraits I took, um, or this one here of this guy carrying the cardboard box to the garbage or recycling truck. This shot is heavily cropped, kind of cropped in that CinemaScope X-Pan type format, which really makes me wish I had a camera that shot that natively. Essentially, if you've noticed in some of my past videos, I mentioned how I really like the quote unquote cinematic look. And I think having this aspect ratio kind of lends itself to that. If I had to critique this, I really wish those cars were not parked in the foreground there, and I had a cleaner look of the bottom half on the frame. Now, what I will say is that I probably could have just stepped in, closer to be in between the cars, and it would have kind of given me more of the bottom of the frame I was looking for. Maybe I still could have done that and just cropped less, and I would have gotten the shot I was looking for. But as you know, when you're kind of shooting these kind of fleeting moments in the street, like if you go to try to do that, like the shot's probably gone by the time you think to do that anyway. So you kind of have to think more quickly on your feet and make those adjustments on the fly, or just kind of anticipate and be in the right place at the right time. And all that I think just comes with practice. And to be honest, I haven't shot street in quite a long time. So this was kind of fun to get out and do. So that's that shot. The second shot I'll move on to and discuss here, because I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, is this shot of these two kind of, I guess, COVID testing temporary buildings that they stood up. And the only reason I want to point this out is because you'll see that building in the background there has that kind of a crazy like halation or kind of glow to it because the sun is really hitting it heavy, and with the diffusion filter it's really giving a strong halation around it. And this, to be honest, is with a really strong underexposure. um I sat here for a while and kind of had to adjust my exposure compensation because the halation was just super strong on the shot because the sun was hitting it. I do have a glimmer glass on here, and I'm not even sure what the stats are on that. I'll probably put in the description on the screen or something. But I have a glimmer glass on here, and honestly, in hindsight, I would have probably just removed the entire lens hood that has the glimmer glass filter in there. And this is the Hogue like kind of square hood clone that you can get on Amazon. I'll link that down below too. But I probably would have just removed this and just shot the bare lens, because in bright daylight sun, it was a little much. And this is kind of one of the weaker diffusion filters, I think. And even still, some of the blooming was a little aggressive when like the harsh sunlight would hit like a white colored building or something and give me kind of crazy flaring or really halation. So in hindsight, I would probably just reserve this for indoor shooting and nighttime shooting, and I wouldn't do this again in the bright sunlight. I just would have carried it like this, I guess, just to show this. And then one other shot right after that, where you have the halation on the back of the Cisco truck here, kind of shows you the blooming and halation I was talking about. And probably the reason why I would have, if I could go back, I'd probably just wouldn't have used that diffusion filter in this harsh of daylight. Oh, one more I'll point out. I really liked this scene here. Uh, and really, it was just, I like the colors that I was getting here. I just wish that there was somebody actually over here, sitting here or whatever. Once again, we were on the way to eat. That was the whole point of us going out there. So I didn't really have the luxury of time to sit here and camp and wait for somebody to enter the frame or to go sit on one of these benches. But I really would have liked to work this scene with the colors a little bit more. And once again, the softness you're seeing here is because of the diffusion filter that's on the X100F here. So interesting look if you're into that. So that being said, feel free to share your thoughts and comments down there below. You can critique, you can say something crazy. I'll probably ignore it. So go crazy down there in the comments if you want. Peace.